These are directions for making a flexagon. So this flexagon here is designed to help you remember the parts of the hybrid orbitals. So we can see the different labels for the types of orbitals, and as you flip through it, you'll see some aspect of that. So the sp3 orbital is linear, and it has an arrangement where it will have two double bonds, or it will have a single and a triple bond, and that bond angle is 180 degrees. And this one doesn't line up really great, but we can also see that it is this particular shape. So this is how you make the flexagon. You want to make sure that you cut out your template right up against the edges here. If you don't, then you're going to have trouble with getting it to come together properly. The first thing you want to do is crease the edges. This works best when you have really sharp creases. I find my fingernails work pretty well for this, but you can also use something like a pencil to help you crease. So you're going to do two different kinds of folds. One would be what is called a valley fold, and a valley fold is where you are folding the printed side towards itself, so it's sort of creating a valley. So we're going to fold along the lines that go, if we hold it this way, this is vertical. We're going to fold along those lines and make a nice sharp crease there. And we're going to do that over here. And you also want to do it here. So this is going to help the piece come together very nicely when we need to roll it into place. All the other folds, the ones that are going to look like diagonals from this position, all of those should be mountain folds, which means we're going to fold the printed side away from one another so that we can still see the printing. And we're going to crease along those. And again, if you don't have fingernails that can crease really well, what you can do is use your fingers as best you can, and then take something like a pencil and slide it along the edge, and that'll give it a nice sharp crease for you to use as you roll it. Alright, make sure that you crease all of the lines. If you do that, then it will kind of roll itself into the position that you want, so make sure you've done both the ones going diagonal in this direction and the ones going diagonal in this direction. So now what you're going to do is you're going to kind of make a tube out of this. You're going to roll it over, and as you do, the folds are going to help it come into the right positions. You'll see X's here. We're going to cover up those X's with the different hybridization labels. Okay, so I find it easiest to do the middle one first, and then we're going to tape these two edges. Now you should be able to kind of hold this in place because those are going to come together naturally, the bottom and the top, and so squeezing there shouldn't distort it at all. Now it might be helpful to have your tape ready to go ahead of time. You're going to need you need 10 pieces of tape total. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the tape, and then I'll show you taping this. Alright, so your tape doesn't need to be very wide, so this is wider than it is long here. I just needed enough that it's going to secure that edge where it's coming together. I'm going to fold it over there, and then I'm going to do the other side as well. We're going to do this for all three diamonds. You really want to make sure you get that right up at the edge, because it'll fold better in the end if you don't have things sticking out. Right up at the edge there. So at this point we have something that kind of looks like a snake with this end being the tail and this end being the mouth. And you'll notice that the mouth is open here. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to fold this so that the snake is going to eat its tail. But we want this SP to be on top. So if I start folding it in this direction, SP is going to be on the bottom. I want to fold it in the other direction. And just need to pop that in there where the fold was. And then I'm going to take the tail here and put it in the opening. And this is kind of the trickiest part because it's going to want to pop out. So I got to really hold it in place. And I can't quite get those edges to meet, but that's okay. It'll still work. I'm going to tape this in place. Now it's nice and secure in this position, but you'll notice when you start to rotate it around that the other edge is going to pop out. So as you rotate it around, tape that other edge, and you should be good to go. And so now you have your flexagon. And so you can see when you have a 120-degree angle over here, that it might look like this with a trigonal planar arrangement, SP2, and there's our trigonal planar.